Welcome to the Beyond Cinema studio up here at Tiff. Aaron, Ivan, firstly, congratulations on having the film out here. Ivan, obviously, it's been about 10 years since you had that whirlwind at Sundance as well, so no stranger to the festival circuit. How's it feel bringing this on board?
Yeah, it was great to be. First time at TIFF, so it's a great launch board for the North American release of the film. And finally get here. It's great.
When you hire Hugo Weaving on a project, do you have to agree to a trilogy?
I hope so. Does that mean I've got 2 more films?
I think there is a trilogy there. Yeah, I've already spoken to him about the next 2 projects. So.
Similarly, Aaron, I mean, you got your hand in everything, producing television shows, and what kind of made you want to take time out to do this with Ivan?
Look, I think Ivan specifically wrote the script for me, and he pretty much said, I've got this idea. It's about an Aboriginal cop who's caught in the middle of the world, which is pretty much our own lives in Australia. So, look, it was very personal on different levels, and and I wanted to work with I mean, I suppose he's got all those skills and talents, and he obviously approached me because of the acting and playing the cop and that before. So it was just kind of a really, really kind of easy process, a transition, over to work with Ivan. I loved it actually because it's a great piece. It's a great story.
It was almost more a cowboy than a cop in a way too.
Yeah, a horseless cowboy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Look, I suppose it was just more or less the dynamics and the design and the shape of it. We're thinking internationally. We're thinking outside the box. And Ivan was, from that point of view, he pretty much said, this is how I'm going to go, Aaron. And look, and it fits because, in the outback, I come from the Northern Territory, I come from Alice Springs, and a lot of people wear cowboy hats there, and a lot of people wear cowboy boots.
Yeah.
So I didn't feel any different, and the land is vast, and it's a bigger character than everybody. So I felt like I was really just at home shooting a film, really.
Yeah, all that red dirt around.
Yeah, exactly.
Ivan, isn't filmmaking meant to be a collaborative process?
It is. I collaborate with these guys.
Yeah, it was, actually.
On everything else, you take full control.
Yeah, he left me the lead acting role, which was good. Thanks, Ivan.
Yeah, no worries.
What is it about that process for you that you feel like, being the DP and the stills photographer?
For me, it's totally natural. I come from a background of stills originally, so the camera and the lens is something that's quite innate from that background, and the writing and the directing, I guess, just it was a natural progression.
And the music.
Well, I've always been a musician from high school, so that's, for me, it's like painting. In painting, you don't pass the brush around when you're painting a picture, so why should you have to do it when you make a film?
Fair enough.
That's true.
There's so many issues that kind of crop up in this film, between either the racial issues, the gender issues, the domestic violence, the corruption in the police force, all this sort of stuff that gets in there somehow. Have you got some unresolved issues on any of those?
Well, I think our country has
massive
unresolved issues, and they're all there to show, and it's all from real life. It's all my experience of other people's experiences, and right through every detail is just, it's on screen because I've seen it in reality, and I've just gone away and observed and put it into a cinematic context.
And it's like that even with Beneath Clouds. Obviously, there are these kind of recurring themes, I guess, in your work.
Well, you've got dispossessed people looking for their place, and that's going to be inherent in almost any Indigenous film or production.
Well, speaking of place, where exactly did you shoot this?
We shot in central Queensland, a place called Winton. People may have seen Proposition. It was a film that was shot there as well. But yeah, we just went for a drive, Aaron and I, part of the bonding process between us two as well, our collaboration process.
Yeah.
And we found that location, and it was just amazing out there. And so the whole Western element really got amplified once we found that location, and we thought, okay, this is a real cattle country, So it really inspired the whole Western element.
There's some thank yous to some of the nations that are around in that area. Did you seek approval, or did you just integrate people from those different tribes? Or
it's a very difficult situation around the Winton area. The local Goa people there have largely been wiped out through massacres over the years, and the remaining people have moved away out of the area. So, but we did chase down those people who and seek their acknowledgement and permission and the other areas where we shot, in my home country as well. So, which I kind of have a direct access to.
There's so many kind of big Australian faces in this film, even leading down to some of the smaller parts, like Jack Thompson, who was in here in the studio the other day for another film he's got here at Tiff. For you, kind of being able to go around and select these people, did it feel like you're a kid in a candy store in some level?
No, because you don't know if you're going to get the candy. You know,
But you did.
You can choose it. Doesn't mean you're going to get it given to you. So eventually we got most of the candy. So which we feel very blessed about. But they all they came onto the project because they really believed in the story, not because we were paying them any money. And the bigger that family got, it attracted more people to that family. And and Aaron's at the core of that.
Aaron, I mean, talking about your history, studied journalism at some stage?
Yes.
What was your favourite question to ask?
My favourite question to who? Anybody in particular? What do you mean that by?
Was there something that you kind of liked getting at?
Within the film?
Yeah.
Look, I think, for me, the bigger question is relationships in Australia. I think for us it's how long is this going to go on? How long are we going to remain divided? How long are we going to talk about this hybrid nation that exists? And, and it's great. I mean, fair enough, people come from all over the country. But for me, the Indigenous people have been there a long time. So for me, it's a matter of when are we going to meet in the middle, rather than it always being one-sided or lopsided.
Yeah.
Because, in our heart and soul, our ancestors have put up with a lot of stuff over the years, and we truly believe that this is, a mirror to Australian society, and it's a consciousness of country. It's a thought track for how we feel about it, and unfortunately, we're not going to apologise for it. The truth of the matter is, there's an entertainment value to it, but we're asking the question of behaviour of people. Why treat Aboriginal people this way? Yeah. And also, let's face it, there's been a lot of homicides and cold cases in Australia, and a lot of it's been Aboriginal people. We go unnoticed for a long period of time. So for us, it was just a matter of sticking it up there and saying, who are we as Australians? And that's the broader question, I suppose.
And I think it's a lot of things that don't get picked up on internationally.
No.
We know about it at home, but
right.
Over here it's like, it's a happy country, happy-go-lucky. Everyone's got a backpack on their backs when you meet them. And they're happy to have a drink, but they don't get that these problems exist.
Yeah, and look, the sad thing about it too, Elliot, is really a lot of people don't know Aboriginal people. A lot of people don't have first contact, So this film maybe is a way of having first contact. I mean, I talked about people in their adult life, People say, well, I was in a classroom with Aboriginal people when I was at school. Yeah, well, I was in a classroom with Chinese people at school. You're forced. That's a system that puts you in place. But what do you do in your adult life?
Right.
Do you invite them to your parties? Do you have barbecues with them? Do you have anybody in your life that Aboriginal? And that's a bigger question. And 90% of Australians don't know any Aboriginal people at all.
Yeah.
So it's a kind of a sad fact that they're that far removed that they're too scared to actually ask any questions or to come on board and walk amongst us. So maybe film is the most beautiful way to do it. It's a beautiful story. It's very simple. Because it is. It's a basic, simple story, and that's what I really love about it. And it's if it seems complicated, well then it is. But the truth of the matter, it's quite simple.
Yeah, and it's also families at the heart of it too.
Totally family and human beings. I mean, the most beautiful thing about what Ivan did is, people might say it's a slow burn, it's languid, but it's a walk through life, and it's 2.5 hours. Well, it's two odd hours in the life of a man and his people, and what he must kind of traverse through. It's a maze of life. It's hard, there's politics involved in it. But at the end of the day, we're a happy-go-lucky people, man. We spend a lot of time laughing as much as thinking about a lot of things too, and a lot of people don't know that, Elliot.
Yeah, nicely said.
Yeah.
And on that point, I want to thank you guys for coming in and sharing that with us, and
Cheers,
and good luck with the rest of Tiff and the journey that this film takes on from here.
Thanks, Elliot.
Thank you.
Yeah, cheers.